Hey there, all you wonderful people. This is Liz from Augusta. I'm the operations manager and the facilitator of communication. I'm right here by my window so you can see this incredible view. I'm never home to see it, and it's always dark by the time I get home, but it's Saturday night. So I wanted to talk to you real quick about what happened this week. I had to fire somebody, and it rips my soul out to fire someone. So at Augusta, we're all about team culture. And when we hire somebody, we say pretty much the only way you can get fired is if you throw somebody else under the bus. Also, though, now we do a paid for performance model. So anybody who is with anybody else, how they perform depends on them. So when we hire someone, whoever trains them gets more money per hour while they're training them till that person's good to go on a solo route by themselves. So we had this young man, incredibly nice, great family, good looking, very courteous, kind, respectful, the kind of person that 99% of you would never fire. However, it's not about me, and it's not about what I want or what I think or how an employee portrays themselves to management, the owner, or the office staff. Also, I am not the owner. I'm the operations manager. And so when you're in a role where I am, where you're the number two, you have to do what the owner wants. So the owner sets in place systems, and they say how they want the place run. And it's my job to make that happen. So the number two, of course, if they own the business, they would run certain things differently. But it's not my business. So I am paid to perform at the owner's request and how he wants things to be. So it doesn't matter if I like the person or think, they should stick around or whatever. So what it comes down to is if our crew works with a person and I highly respect and value everyone's opinion. Nobody at Augusta throws each other under the bus or just talks about each other. Everybody's very respectful and wants each other to succeed. So I had a couple of the young guys, they started giving me a feedback. So, hey, this person, I told them when I got out of the truck and I was mowing the front that over here in this area, they needed to weed whack that area behind the fence. And when I came back, they're sitting in the truck. They're just on their phone, eating their sandwich. Also unpaid for performance. You don't get paid till you get to the job. So it's advantageous that when you get there, you jump out of your vehicle, you have the truck ready to roll so that when your partner gets there, if they're there after you, can just roll out. So this young man would stay in his car until his person got there, hooked up the truck and trailer, and then he would get out and he would sit in the passenger seat and head out. So on every job, they have notes from the customer, their preferences. And then if there's anything else they need me to know, like to put in the notes or anything, for future guys, they leave a note on the visit so I can see it in the customer's profile. So this young man was with us for a couple months. And as I hear little feedback from each of them privately, they would come in and tell me some things. So I had heard many things. So I sent him a voice note, and you learn to communicate with people on the level that they communicate. So this young man communicated. We all mainly communicate via WhatsApp. So I had sent him a voice note, and I said, hey, I need to really see you up your game. I need a level of performance to where these guys that are saying you're on your phone, you're not supporting the person with you, helping them wrap up the jobs and get back. And I need to see a change in that. A little bit of carelessness, not reading your notes. We had got a brand new contract that we had worked really hard to get, where the previous people had been fired because they were taking zero turns in areas where it really needed a push mower. And it was a large property. And typically by looking at it, you would just use a zero turn. But they were instructing us, and we had taken the job off knowing that we would be using a push mower. And so this young man had got to the job site, hopped out, jumped on the zero turn, and just did his thing, and they came out screaming. This was the first day we had the job. We could have lost the whole contract because of that. So I had let this young man know, I'm not even going to say anything to the crew that I talked to you, but I need you to knock their socks off. Without saying anything, I need to have them coming back to me and saying, whoa, something happened to him. He is really watching out for the team, not careless, on top of his game. And so he had texted me back, wow, I didn't know. Yeah, I'll try really hard, but can I talk to you when we get done tomorrow? And it is Mike's practice and mine as well that you deal with things right away. You don't want crews sitting in their trucks all day ruminating over details and talking things out. It's important to talk to them right away. So 2 of the young men in the morning I had called in to their little box, retail box that many of you have seen privately. And I talked to them and told them the story that Jocko had told either in Extreme Ownership or Dichotomy of Leadership, where he talks about the Navy SEAL group, and there was one young man, I think it was Extreme Ownership, because they were doing a diving drill and he wasn't up to par and he was dragging the whole team down. So if you have a person who is not up to speed, they're not strong enough, they're not fast enough, they're not good with their weapon in the military, everybody else could get killed because of them when you go on a mission. So either the whole team works together to train them up and get them where they need to be, or they make the hard decision to cut them, which is a huge deal in the SEALs. It's a pretty demoralizing thing to be taken out. So they don't take that lightly. So of course we're not at war and it's not that serious. However, I told the 2 young men, is it our fault? Have we not trained him well enough? When you took him out, did you show him like how to read the notes? Did you show him how to watch out for the other guy and to care for him? And they're like, well, what would we do? You know, if we don't work with people all the time, see how they're doing. Ask them what we can do to support them. Do they have any questions? And sometimes if they're new, they don't even know to ask the questions. They don't even know what they're doing wrong. So they need you to be pointing that out. And so you cannot say that you're bad or you're not good at your job and we're going to cut you unless you've done your part to make sure you train them well, gave them follow-up, gave them all the support they needed to do their job. So I put him with one of the senior employees the next day, and I actually went out to the truck with him and that senior employee, and we talked it out right then so that we wouldn't have to wait till the end of the day. So everything was addressed, and we prefaced the whole day telling him together that ask any questions you have. Brad, our project manager, leader, he's with you today. Ask him any questions. So the whole day, Brad mentored, coached, helped him. I put him with Brad for a few more days. And then I was getting feedback from him. Well, Brad is very kind. And, you know, he didn't want to make any kind of call. Like, he's like, he hasn't blown me away. Like, I don't know that he's the Augusta quality that we need. And, you know, if we had a new job with a customer that we were at risk of losing because they're pretty particular, would he be your go-to guy? And he said, I would have to say no. And anybody else at Augusta, you would say yes to. You could put any of them on and they would pull through for you. So Josh, many of you know him. He is our most senior employee and he has trained the most people mowing. So I just kind of filled him in a little bit the night before, and I just said, this is what I need you to look for. Since the coronavirus thing, we've had a lot of precautions in place, so we're not having team meetings either. So all of our meetings have been on video. So Lee talks things out in the video about the yellow slips, anything the crew needs to know about mowers, labeling things, anything going on. And then we send the video on the chat. And so he had also said to the other crew members, oh, I'm not watching any of those. Well, that completely explained why he grabbed the wrong mower that was labeled for another truck and put it in his truck for the day, making Austin not have the mower he needed and causing a little bit of discombobulation in the morning. So that was another big thing. If you're not, you know, even participating in the least things to do your job well and putting that little bit of effort, that says a lot of things. That means that you're not there for the team. And so on the day of, when I kind of put him to the final test with Josh, there were things on the team chat that day that were really important. Mike had also come on the chat during the day, which he doesn't typically do, with a video and said, hey, you definitely want to watch this. This will make you richer, and prefaced it with that. And a nice video for everyone that he was going to give out a bonus to them. And so you can see on WhatsApp the person who, if people have seen that. And so Josh had, just kind of questioned him because he knew what to watch for. And he had said, hey, had you looked at the chat today? And he goes, no, I haven't seen any of them. And we had put on a lot of stuff, pictures we were taking at jobs and everything. A lot of contribution to the chat that day. But he had been on his phone quite a bit. So Josh said, he was on his phone, but he never looked at anything that had anything to do with our team, which is vital during the day when we're all working together to get jobs done. So that means if he had been out on a route by himself and one of us had said, hey, is anybody close to wherever, or who has the Thatcher, or who took the whatever, he would have never seen it. So let alone, not once, not ever, communication back to the office with any voice notes. Hey, I'm at this property, I have a question, this is going on. You cannot survive without one another to wrap up the jobs and to do well at your job. So that was one of the things Josh had looked for. And then throughout the day, Josh kept watching for all the little things I had said. And I said, I know this sounds stupid, but it comes down to, did you feel taken care of? Did you feel supported? Did you feel like the person was doing everything they could to help you? And were you wowed today? And he's like, really, no. And so I thought, I'll give him one more day. I'll give him a route by himself, and then I'll have Lee go check all those jobs for him. And I thought, what a waste of money and time to have Lee go back and actually basically trail him on each job, go through them all that day, and make a decision. So that evening, I just made the decision, and I sent him a note. And in our state, you don't have to have any reason or give a reason why you fire someone. And so you need to be very careful. So I just, stated that I felt that he would be a wonderful fit somewhere else, and that he was not a good fit for Augusta, and that in the past few days I hadn't seen the behavior that I had told him I needed to see to raise that bar. And so that I was firing him, I was letting him go, and he could drop off his keys and that type thing. And so it's very difficult for me, and like I said, it has nothing to do with me. It is, does it work well with the team? Do all the team feel supported by him? When they look at that board that I put up at night with the names of each other, do they look at that person's name and say, oh, it's going to be a terrible day tomorrow, I'm assigned with them? That is not what you want. That does not create good team culture. Now let me follow up by saying our team culture on Thursday and Friday, after I did the firing, was through the roof. The appreciation that the guys had that we would listen to their concerns and act on them was incredible. So on Friday, that's the day that we had 122 jobs on the schedule, and we had fired someone. And the reason we had all those jobs is because we've been marketing, it's spring, and we have a lot of first-time initial mows. So not only was there a lot of jobs, but they were big. And so it put us a tad behind because of that. And I prefaced the whole day letting them know we have all these jobs, and just putting it out there, who wants to work Saturday, or do you guys want to work long on Friday? And I just know that because they were acknowledged and cared about and knew that they were appreciated so much, and they all said they wanted to work Friday late, and the morale was incredible. And Mike hopped in on Friday, and we did all of those mows, and the communication was amazing. And I just have no words for all the effort that goes in to create that kind of culture is so worth it on days like that. All the sacrifice you've made for them behind the scenes, that they know you have made, that you've always had their back, that you're always looking out for them, not what you want, but what's best for them, and that you do hard things and make hard decisions for them. So we have Charity, who was an office assistant, and she had seen on the chat all these, she hasn't been working for us because we're in the coronavirus, and she's also a chef, so she's been working at other places, and they're doing a lot of carry out for the restaurants. So she had texted me, hey, I know it's really busy. Would you like me to come and hop on a route and help in the field? That's the quality of people we have. And I said, no, I think we're good. Mike hopped on, and we're going to be okay. And so a little while later, she said, well, can I bring them food? And she works at a really nice place, and she brought them all food. And the appreciation of them for her, and it was a long day. So firing somebody can be extremely difficult. It can be the best thing ever for your team and for the culture. So if there is poison amongst your people, if there's somebody that they're an older person even that they're all trying to be so respectful of because you've taught that to them and they are respectful of it, be aware. Ask them if everything's going okay. If there's anything they want to tell you about a route, don't wait till things are out of hand and the poison is spread. On paid for performance, they're going to tell you a lot quicker because their pay depends on that person performing. And if that person wants to stop all day or dilly-dally around, they're not going to put up with it. So paid for performance solves a lot of those problems. But that is what Augusta is all about. When you're a franchise with us, you become a partner. You become a team with us. We help you with all these things. You're on Facebook. You have support 24/7 from all of us. You have the command center, and if you're a right fit for us, you can click on the links below and watch all the videos of Mike about the franchise till you're completely familiar with it. And if you'd like to move forward after that, you can email me and I can send you a link to set up a call with Mike to find out more in your demographic and for your business and the details if it's something that's right for you. We would love to have you join us if you're the right fit for us, and we're